Let's get to the bottom of the WhistlinDiesel arrest, quick and dirty. Here's the facts and what's likely happening. This one is wild, so buckle up. If you haven't opened social media in the last couple of days, the YouTuber who built his brand by destroying high-end cars was actually arrested, and it's very, very likely because of one of those high-end cars. At first, everyone actually thought this was fake, but the indictment listing 2 felony counts of tax evasion from Williamson County, Tennessee, pretty much shuts down those fake accusations. So what we do know is that it is about tax evasion, but that still doesn't explain how weird this whole thing is. I mean, I even heard rumors that Ferrari was behind this because they were upset about WhistlinDiesel destroying one of their cars, and they're known to really do some crazy things to protect their machines. No concrete evidence on that one yet, but I wouldn't put it past them. What we do know is that WhistlinDiesel, aka Cody Detweiler, did have Montana tags on his Ferrari F8 Tributo, and this is the center of the storm. If you're not familiar, Montana is basically a safe haven for registering expensive cars without having to pay huge taxes on them, or for registering cars that might not pass emissions or something like that. Race car people from time to time will do this so that they're able to drive their builds on the streets. Either way, Tennessee is saying that it is illegal. Secondhand sources have even claimed that Detweiler openly talked about saying that around $30,000 in sales tax was saved by registering this car in Montana. The line here is whether this counts as tax avoidance or tax evasion, and I would imagine that this is what the lawyers are going to be paid to argue over. Avoidance is the legal loophole kind of stuff you always hear rich people bragging about and saving money over. Evasion is a whole different story, even though it's similar, and honestly, these tiny legal differences are what can keep normal people away from wealth. Now, I'm not a lawyer at all, but from everything that I've read, it's just plain illegal if you do not live in or conduct business in Montana to have a vehicle tagged there and used elsewhere for the most part. And in a lot of cases, it seems like it's one of those who's going to really notice or even say anything situations. Where the story gets even crazier is when Detweiler was arrested, there were 6 police officers and they set bail at $2 million. From what I understand, you have to pay a non-refundable 10% portion of that bond to get out, which would be obviously $200,000 here. Kind of insane if this is just a dispute over 30 grand, if that's actually the case. If you ask Detweiler, he'd probably most likely say that Tennessee is positioning itself to make an example here and therefore going with the big arrest and the bail and everything is grand to get the media coverage. But I would not be shocked if the state is staring at its ledgers thinking about new revenue streams. If they can hit people for $20,000 or $30,000 a pop and scare others into registering cars in the state, that money adds up real fast. Now, Detweiler did have a hearing today. He was promising to drive his killdozer to that hearing, so we will probably get some sort of update in the next day or two, and then maybe we can finally make heads or tails of 100% what's going on here. But for now, this looks like pretty much what the situation is.